Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Oh, Brad B is here already. Surprised like the Iranian election. Yeah, I'm a little bit earlier than usual, but still, I'm supposed to come even earlier. But anyway, I changed the setting of this channel, like live streaming, setting it to subscribers only. So hopefully more people will subscribe. Okay. Today's news, no, it's yesterday's newspaper. Bam! UK. The new administration. Starmer is in power. You can see the picture as well. It's on our front page. Historical, a huge defeat for the Conservative Party and blah, blah, blah. So, bye-bye Sunak. I knew it was going to happen though, because of the support rate and everything. Very sad. But it's a historical change, right? And what's interesting is that the left side changed their policy, like they're not showing the extreme leftist agenda, and they are more moderate now. The only concern for me, like fundamentally, I don't think that, at least for Japan, like it's not gonna change much. But there's a part that says that they, even though they will compete with China, they will try to visit China, or at least see if they can do it. And yeah, I have the impression that they're gonna be closer to China, and that would, like I have a little concern for that. So even though like they are competing and challenging, at the same time, when it comes to climate change policy, like counter measurement, they're gonna cooperate together and blah blah blah. Not sure. What do you guys think? Oh, more people now. 朝雲さんいらっしゃい。一気に世界が激変しそうですね。もしトラじゃなくてほぼトランプ大統領でしょうね。それは間違いないですね。そうですね。その可能性が大です。It's so late. I saw Yoko thumbnail randomly. Cool. You're here. That's good. I think Labor is trying to be the Tony Blair version again. Tony Blair おったね。前のロードと。That's that long ago? Like his name sounds familiar, but it's such a long time ago. I don't know why I know his name. But yeah, and they have a insight too. They, like our newspaper wrote down the like Labor Party. They are like they try to make it like it worked that they became moderate. Yeah, like realistic policy and so on. And they're talking about how they want to cooperate with the EU, and they were gonna send those illegal immigrants to Rwanda, but they're not gonna do that. So that's unfortunate. It was a great idea to send them there, and hopefully it would start there, and that movement was spread to the world. That was something that I was hoping, but that's not the case. Yeah. With the UK, Japan is developing a new fighter jet. So, of course, like Japan's intention is to, especially we are considering the threat of China, right? But at the same time, this new regime, new administration is gonna might get closer to China. So that's a concern. Yeah, I must lose all my hair for Yoko. What does that If I stay up longer, all my hair will fall out. I hope that won't happen. Oh, John is here. Hello. Thank you so much for coming, as always. Gary is here too. Hey, Yoko. Hello. So, and in addition to that, on the newspaper today, shows the new president in Iran, reformist president Pezeshkian, internationally cooperating. Yeah. What do you think about Iran now? Like, I'm actually surprised that I realized that Iran actually has an election. I didn't really think about it. It's kind of weird. But yeah. Oh, right. The former president. Like, all of a sudden he died, right? Right. It was bizarre. And I guess that they are gonna try to have America lift the sanctions. Let's see. Well, it's everywhere. Like on our newspaper here, and on the other side, this is about the nuclear negotiation. Oh, Super Chat! Thank you so much for your Super Chat. Casey, I am finally up late enough to watch it live. I watch all the replays. Hi, oh, thank you for coming. Yeah, I'm always late, so thank you for coming. I'm so happy that you call me live. Yes. Thank you. It makes me happy. So they're talking about. Yeah. They want to be. I guess they want to fix the economy by lifting the sanctions by the US. And that got their votes. That's interesting. It really doesn't help for dictators to, have policies against America, because America, whether they like it or not, is the biggest country in the world, the most advanced, even though there's a huge conflict in the country. Like, yeah. America and China are the countries that we can never ignore, fortunately or unfortunately. Eric says, hello, Yoko, Trump 2024. Yes, thanks for coming. The Ayatollah kind of likes to give small choices. 30 reformist president. All Iranian candidates are vetted. Oh, Super Chat, Rabbi, thank you so much. Yay, Super Chat. Thanks for being a little earlier this week. Oh, you're like encouraging me to, like, if I have my live stream earlier, then like you're gonna give me reward. Also, the wildest thing to me was that Iran had presidential debate before the election. Oh, they did? Huh, I missed that. I wonder how they spoke. I have no idea. Like, Iran is so far away, from Japan. Like, not only geographically, but like we feel them very far away. Israel, we kind of we care about Israel a lot because we hear that their military technology and everything is advanced. They know how to protect themselves. So like Japanese people are interested in like how they do it, and some of us go learn how they do it and so on. But Iran, yes, reverse. Thank you. It's working. It's very much working. Yep. The government there is quite complicated with many factions trying to get power. Which election are you talking about? Iran? Yeah, I'm not very familiar with Iran. Even in when it comes to the UK too, I'm not familiar. Iran, I see, I see. なんかありますかね。なんかイランとかイギリスとか。I'm not actually familiar with like politics over there. How I take this, the fact that there are elections going on in other countries, no, in November, of course, the US is going to pick the new president. And in the UK, the power just changed, Iran too. So, like, it's such a change this year. We knew that it was going to be an election year, but still, like, it's changing, in many places. And Japan too, our prime minister, the support rate for him is lower, like getting lower and lower. And we are not sure if he's going to be picked next time. Like his term ends in September this year. So again, like even our prime minister might change. So like I said, when G7 was held in Italy recently, was it last month? I was saying that the members there, the leaders of G7, it will be changed. And it'll be changed, yeah. So, I don't speak Farsi, but I saw in an article that they had a debate. Everyone assumes that it's not a real election in Iran, but I think they control who runs, maybe then allow a real election. Yeah. Yeah. Like at least they have the form of election. So that's interesting. But people really need to get louder. It might take their lives to do it, but our ancestors, for example, in Japan, our people back in the day fought to build the system and balance the power. So like I think that other countries should do the same. So anything to talk about? Oh yeah, Biden too is on the newspaper here as well, talking about the replacement of him. Oh, and here today, I don't know exactly in which words he said it, but he says that there's no other appropriate candidate other than me, kind of thing. So, it's really, oh, there's a picture here. See, Biden. It's really, I don't know. He's trying, but it's not working. The more Biden's side tries to, like Biden's team tries to emphasize that he can do it, the less it works, Yeah. Oh, speaking of election today in Tokyo, there's an election going on, actually, a gubernatorial election. So it's probably the current governor will win again, but this time the gubernatorial election has been chaotic. So like Japanese people are rethinking about the concept of election again, or the system of election again, because it's so peaceful here that people do whatever they want to do to have fun or to stand out so that they can make money or establish some kind of position. So like a social status. So that's what they do, and it's getting because of the internet too, that everything is getting chaotic. So we are thinking about how to deliver election in this generation. Oh, Japanese newspaper is interesting. This is Yomiuri, but there's a Q&A here, actually. Like, do you see the Q here? What happened to QAnon, by the way? Q and news Q, and it's a Q&A. Like, do you see Q&A here? Q A. So, of course, it's in Japanese, but about hijab and what's the difference between conservatives and so on. Yeah. Yep. When it comes to the UK, because they are leftist, it's good for us Japanese that they are gonna stay the same when it comes to the war in Ukraine, so that they're gonna keep supporting Ukraine. So that's good news for us. Not good. I don't know about you, but as far as my country is concerned, yeah. In Tokyo, yes. Government big enough to give you everything you want is big enough to take everything you have. Good point. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Is it? I don't actually know how to read your name. Deuce Flex. Thank you. Nigel Farage, a Trump ally who led the Brexit referendum, is now the leader of the Reform UK Party and won their first seats in Parliament. Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember his name. I see. Nigel Farage. No? そうなんか初めて取ったって。13 seats. my husband is dozing off in my gaming chair, but he's like 13 seats. Because his party got the seats, Conservative Party lost their seats. The district election. 労働とか有利になる決まってるでしょ。1対1で対決せずに、UK が出てくる。そうか。小選挙でお互い争うからね。蹴落とすからね。保守党の票が減って、バイクのパラーチのせいで、労働とか有利になる。わかった。I see. So because what do you guys call it? Single seat constituency. Wow, such a big word. Let me hear that again. Constituency. Single seat constituency. Yeah. Because of that system, the Nigel Farage's party and Conservative Party, they had to fight against each other. And so that creates the picture of the Labour Party getting a benefit out of it. So, the Tories should have kept their election promises if they wanted to keep their seats. Yeah. So that happens in election. Yeah, here too. For example, right now we have the gubernatorial election, and my opinion is that there's a super leftist, like extreme leftist candidate that is running for the gubernatorial election today, right? And I never want her to win, but she could win because she is getting all the supports from everyone on the left, extreme left, including the Japanese Communist Party. And so she represents the extreme left, and in Tokyo there are lots of leftists as well, because conservatives are strong in like rural area or like suburb area, but leftists can be strong in the cities, just like in your country. So, and I really want her to lose, right? like that's part of the election to think about that. And she's very anti-Japan, and she have the records of destroying Japan when she was in power. She belonged to the Democratic Party back in until 3 years, until 2012. So yeah, she has a records of anti-Japan activities, and I really don't want her to win. So I am pushing the current governor Yuriko Koike, even though the conservative people don't like her for like energy policy or whatsoever. And they also say that Yuriko Koike isn't conservative enough for them, right? And she get bashed from the right side as well as the left side. But like my way of thinking is that we can never pick. Like I really don't want the leftist candidate to win, so I push the powerful one on our side. Even though she might not be perfect, I do that but then there are lots of other kinds of people on the right side that don't like her, and they try to win against her, right? So then the votes on the right side get divided, and it becomes a good, like a preferable situation. It creates the good situation for the left side, if you know what I mean. So that's election. The Conservatives had a majority in parliament for the past few years, but kept none of their promises. Yeah. And on top of that, I see the scandals, especially it started with, who's that? Boris Johnson. Like I had to remember his hairstyle first to remember his name. His hair though, I've heard that he has a hairstyle like Boris Johnson. He has this random hair to be liked by the lower class people. I don't know if it's true, but yeah. His English, like his accent has changed too. Somebody was pointing that out. So that's interesting. But anyway, yeah, he had a party amid corona, like COVID-19 pandemic. So is she anti-nuclear? Yes. Of course. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Great men are almost always bad men, even when they exercise influence and not authority. Still more when you spread a tendency of the certainty of corruption by authority, Lord Acton. That is very difficult. Boris Johnson has the same hairstyle as Abe. No, Abe was very neat. Yes. But anyway, anything to talk about? Not much is going on here. I wrote a new article, by the way, about Tibet and how Japan's support for Tibet is going. I don't think that I talked about last week. When was it published? I don't even remember. It's my new article. It's about Tibet because China in this 21st century is colonizing Tibet together with other nation states like Uyghurs, Southern Mongolia, and Hong Kong. And I wrote about it because as I said before, I held an activity together with like-minded in the world, that support Tibetans for their freedom and human rights. And so we had a global campaign. So I wrote about it, and also I wrote about how Japan has been supporting Tibet, and we have the biggest national, like a parliamentary group to supporting Tibet. It's the biggest in the world, like over 100 members. So And together with the history of Abe supporting Tibet, I wrote about it in my new article, asking Kishida, especially if he wants to be our prime minister again, because the election is coming up in September to decide the leader of Liberal Democratic Party, which is our governing party, is coming up. So I'm asking Kishida, like, what are you gonna do, right? So. Only Tibet was an independent country before. Yeah. Yes. Like it's the same. China and Russia, they are colonizing other nation states. Seriously, it's the same. They do the same thing. I guess it has a lot to do with the land power aspect, like look at America or Japan or India or UK, or Australia. Like we are surrounded by the oceans and we are different. Like we don't think about expanding, right? And at least after the war too. Like that's we've been the same, but land power, they're different. They always fight for their borders and they want to expand and so on. And they don't have as much freedom as we do. And it's a new thing for us to realize. For like my husband and I, we've been learning, that there are people in Russia, under the colonization of Russia. There are lots of nation states and ethnic groups that are fighting against the Putin regime. Same for China. When you say China, there are lots of people, Tibetans, Uyghurs, Southern Mongolians, Hong Kongers. They want freedom and democracy. They want sovereignty, but it's not happening. And we have to do something about it. And today, the world is changing. As I said, the elections are happening in the world. And I hope that this change in Iran will have a ripple effect. I don't know. But it's interesting though, because they want to be closer. They want the economic sanctions by the US to be lifted, but America will most likely pick Trump as their president again. And I bet that Trump will be strict against Iran. But he's the master of deals, so yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but Japan colonized Ainu and Ryukans in the past. No. Japan, they are Japanese. Like whoever says that, like those people that are agitating the division in Japan are leftists, they take the parts of like, oh, Hong Kong independence or Tibet independence, blah blah. Like they support that so that they can buy that. They can they import that sort of independence thing to Japan so that they can divide Japan, even though it's Japan all along. They're Japanese. They've been Japanese, okay? So they want to divide Japan, and that's why they get the talking points from outside. They're using it. They're using them to divide us. So Okinawa has been Japan. So are the Hokkaido and all the northern parts. So that's a taboo word, just so you know, when you talk to Japanese conservatives, at least. United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, my husband, by the way, is considered as a separationist by CCP. CCP knows him, my husband. CCP knows him, and he's on the blacklist of him. And yeah, and my husband has been on the CCP newspaper many times. The version was, I think, both in mainland and Hong Kong as well. But yeah, but it's like, oh, behind the independence of Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, like 5 independence. Behind that, there's a Japanese hand. Like Japanese evil hand, and they were referring to basically my husband. So yeah, so they do that, and so for China, that's the separationist. But same thing for Japan, like even not same thing, like they are the, like historically they're not China, they are independent nations. Hong Kong is different, right? But like it's not independent, but like it was separated. It was a different thing from China. But anyway, as for Japan has been Japan. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Japan must rearm fully. That means every adult. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. It helps me a lot. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming back. I have to go, Yoko. Okay, thank you for coming. Have a good night. My brain shutting down due to the lateness. Sorry. Yeah. Yep. Anything to talk about today? I don't have much news. Oh, it's Tanabata today. How do you say that? Tanabata. Vega. Festival of the Weaver. Weaver Festival? Like this princess and prince in the sky, the 2 stars meet or whatever. Yeah. He does the moderator thing. Where's my husband? I guess he's sleeping. I wanted him to talk about Okinawa and the northern part, but oh well. Any question? Sleepy. Yep. Is that bonjour? Bon. Oh, bonjour. How do you pronounce that? Bonsoir. I don't know. I have no idea. なんかアイヌは日本じゃないとか言ってるやつがいるから。アイヌは日本じゃない？うん。バカじゃない。I asked my husband about Ainu and told you, Napoleon, what you said to him, and my husband said, "Are you an idiot?" Yeah, they're Japanese, man. Any reaction in Japan to France's election? Oh, right, France too. I forgot to mention France. But they didn't win widely, right? I mean, which one was that? 2 days in a row, there are like election news, so I am confused. Oh yeah, here. Wait for me. Are your newspaper this thick? What's going on here? Super chat, thank you so much. But Bill Biz, Yo, does Japan allow citizens to possess firearms or have anything like a U.S. Second Amendment? No. It's against our law to carry weapons, like even if it's a knife. So, but the only exception, like gun ownership and so on, are like is hunters. You know, hunters that hunt animals in the woods. They have a special license, but ordinary people, we can't have any weapons or firearms. What is it called? Yeah. Gun and sword law. That's so simple. Gun and sword law. Really? Act for controlling the possession of firearms or swords and other such weapons. Okay, so that's what we have. Yeah, act for controlling the possession of firearms or swords and other such weapons. Yes. So we're not supposed to have them because our samurais back in the day had that. Of course, like it was their life, just like Americans, patriots have guns to protect themselves and so forth. Just like cowboys, our samurai had their swords, but they had to give it up. And we are living in the consequences of that. Oh, Super Chat, another Super Chat. Thank you so much. Recently, Japan accused China of installing underwater buoys under its southern continental shelf. Yes, because they did. They do illegal activities all the time. Buoys. Yeah, they have the coverage often about that. I don't know what's happening now. Let me see. 中国 buoy. So they put the buoys. Am I reading it right, buoy? It's in Japanese, like buoy. So I guess that our country is continuing, will continue to collect information. Not immediately calling it a problem, but collecting information. And Chinese side says that Japan doesn't have the right to interfere, and blah blah blah. But China always just ignores the laws or whatever, And when it comes to France, by the way, there's a coverage here. French. it says extreme left. I mean, extreme right. French extreme right, not reaching the majority. So they're talking about RN. So even though they're doing well, it's not as huge win as we expected. What's gonna happen? Are they gonna... I wonder who the leader will be, though, of the country. Which side would that be? Let's see. Printing newspaper is probably still a thing, though it probably costs more than it really worth to print it. Yeah, of course, like there is the value. There's a value. Yoko thinks we still get newspaper. Most get the news online now. But do they cover the same thing? Because when I read newspapers in paper, they have lots of other information that we can't get online. And that's something that I am interested in, you know. Like the contents that I see, you know, like news coverage and everything, like what I see online, it's very limited, and it only like, especially if you look at them on social media, like because of the algorithm, you know, they will show the stuff that you would actually like and read to engage so that they can make money, right? And my friends, though, my American friend who is, I bet she's still in the media field, but she was saying that she doesn't have social media accounts and that she checks news online, though. And she was the type of person that, like, I don't get in touch with her much anymore because of her job. But anyway, she was saying that she would read the news online and like she visits the news site, right? But I don't do that, and our people don't do that. Some people, I guess, check like a Yahoo News and so on. You know, like if you go there, there's a bunch of articles. But like, what happens to our version is that you can read everything. Like if you buy this newspaper, like paper version, then you can read everything by the amount that you pay, right? And online, you can read for the most part for free, but you have to pay extra to read like some paid content, and it's annoying. Yeah. But it's important to read the small sections and so on too, that like what you are not paying attention to. And also by this you can read the atmosphere of the country, you know. Like your interest doesn't mean everything. Your world consists of your interests only, but the world is just how it is, right? So you have to check out other perspectives and so on. So it's important to read the news. Uh, at least that's what I learned from my husband. He knows a lot of things, and he knows a lot of other aspects, so that he can see things in a balanced way and see the big picture, unlike like internet warriors. So V's are pronounced the same. That's cool. Let's see. France has president, not just a prime minister. Oh yeah, Macron stays, but his party lost big. Oh, I see. The only thing newspapers have that is easier in the paper is the comics. We have comics as well. Let's see. Oh, I'm messing up our newspaper. Oh yeah, right here. Actually, this newspaper has Kobo-chan. It's only in 4 though. Kobo-chan. Okay. Kaya's Japanese Music and Culture Room is a YouTube channel that does a great job of explaining Okinawa to those who are confused. A great channel on the culture and regional subcultures of Japan. Cool. Random question: Is there a good Japanese drone company for hobby drones? I have no idea. I'm not familiar with drones because in Japan we can't fly them. Like unless you have a huge land, you know. Like in the park and in the public spaces, you can't fly them. It's against our law. One time though, a drone, I believe, went above our national no, it's the prime minister's either residence or I guess it was his office. Like some drone went over that, and we were like, oh, that's dangerous for our, like that could be a terrorism. And we had a confusion. And other cases that there are videos. We are not sure if it's real, but there are like Chinese people are posting videos of their drone flying over our self-defense forces ship that is parked. Do you use park for ships? At the port. So they're like they go above, like fly over the entire ship, and it's on X. And yeah, that's dangerous. So even if like you fly them, maybe we are too slow to catch them. But you know what I mean. It is the same about drones here in the States. You are not allowed to fly them over private properties nor near airports. Oh yeah, many get in trouble for it. I bet Americans enjoy drones. Like when it first came out, like when like drone came out first, like I remember watching like American YouTubers, playing with it, even though it was expensive. Like they were able to afford it. So the Wall Street Journal still has a What's News section and that follows their editorial priorities rather than a personalized algorithm. Yeah, it's very fun, to read editorials because it's like each newspaper is opinionated, and it's important to like compare them. Yeah. Even though like the newspaper that we've been reading recently called Yomiuri, they're not conservative, but they're just they have common sense and they have lots of information, and they have, I don't know, like it's good to see what's not very very right wing or conservative, because then like it get you back to the normal place, because if you keep looking at social media you lose balance. And now, because I intentionally try to keep my common sense, our country has, or the world has, when I look at those who are in the bubble online, I can instantly tell, like, oh, they're not getting information from the normal places. Yeah. Is it funny or political? The comics? It's just everyday life kind of thing that everyone can relate to. It's interesting because now everyone can read comics even online, right? Just like you said about newspaper. There are lots of like online sites for comic books now in Japan, and I guess mostly you have to pay for that though. But you can read them, and we of course we have Netflix and everything that is coming from other countries as well. So we have a lot of entertainment, but still newspaper has comic section. Let's see. If I am into hunting and I move to Japan, does that mean I wouldn't be able to at all because of the gun laws? I can't even own a gun for hunting. I think you can. I don't know internationally though. Seems that I bet that you can. Oh yeah, even if you are a foreigner, you can do that. But I guess that you have to. Like there should be exams or something, right? Yeah, like you need the application papers, documents and so on. Oh, and you need a document for like your health. I don't know why health, but yeah. Why are newspapers normal? Because the reality is what we co-create. I know what you mean by media bias and whatnot, but that's media's job to set some kind of standards, But even their standards change over time. In Japan, as I told you many times before, after the World War II, we had press code, right? It was set by America and other, United Nations, but they imposed press code. So basically, we couldn't say what we wanted to do. Our media couldn't do, like we couldn't speak ill of America, Soviet Union, Korea, and other countries. But even though we ended the period, it was no longer active. It was not active anymore, but the media had a system already to, bash Japan and, praise other countries and blah, 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 blah. So very anti-Japan, right? But because we have the realistic threats now from China and also North Korea, kidnapped, abducted our people, they're still there, captured and so on. And the media, especially after China became expansive, after Xi Jinping took power, and yeah, especially after that, the most most newspapers became more and more on the right side, like it's gradual, it's still not enough, but they are changing because there are the problems. So whew. Let's see. Does it matter what the police do and don't get along with when our politicians can do whatever they want to appear blameless before the public? I'm confused. Yeah, the police and don't get along with the person. I'm confused, sorry. Do not hate your own country. Japan is not perfect, but no one is gonna keep trying on. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. Especially after Abe administration, I think that, like the second time, the first time he was in power, the media bashed him so much, and he couldn't last his position. But the second time, like after, like when he took power in 2012, and after his administration was very stable, and he was more concentrating on economy, and also Trump was there to support him, and everything was in a good cycle for the most part. So then and I guess that he was close to Yomiuri Shimbun too, the newspaper that I'm reading now. And yeah, so like gradually it changes, And what's important, I think, for the media is to keep the balance, At least like when I look at the newspapers here, like they try their best, and sometimes they are biased, but I can see the reasons why, and that's important, I think. That I used to be some of you, I used to be like some of you, like criticizing the media all the time. And I didn't read it or read the newspaper, or I didn't watch the TV news, because I used to think that they're not delivering the truth, but they are. They are delivering the facts. They have their narrative, but still they have the information, and they show what they think. And if you have your own way to think about things, then it doesn't matter what kind of media that you read. Like, you are not gonna get brainwashed. So, like, I suggest that you don't get scared of newspaper. And you need something to, something as like a it's not, like a standard, I would say. So that, like, without that, you can't discuss anything with anyone. Wish Abe was still with us. Yeah, me too. Like, it's been 3 years now. So time flies. For our gubernatorial election, like Yuriko Koike was speaking, I guess, and there were lots of opposition people that were in the crowds, and this one person threw something. I guess it was just a flyer or something. I don't know. Like, you can probably read it like somewhere. But yeah, somebody was caught by the police, and they arrested him on the spot. So that's good. But it's really it's becoming more and more dangerous now, because Abe was killed in the middle of our election period. And Kishida too, our prime minister now, he was attacked once, not too later than Abe was killed. Like, somebody threw a bomb that he made. That guy still remains silent, though, I believe. So we don't have information. But yeah, that happens. So how is Japanese news reporting on the presidential debate? It's a little, I don't know, like, they are neutral, just telling what's happening. Like, for example, as for Biden, let's see, they were talking about, there was the interview by ABC, and he was asked a question about his mentality and physique, like stamina. And Biden said, if I don't believe that I can, then I wouldn't be running, or something like that. So, like, commentary there. And Biden was asked like that because he didn't perform well on the debate earlier. And then Biden said this and that, and emphasizing that he doesn't have to take the recognition test. But the Democratic Party people some of them are requesting to replace him, and Biden said something to counter that, and so and so. So, like, basically just explaining what's happening. This happened, and then Biden said this. Why? Because this happened. And then there are other people saying this, and then Biden says this. So just laying out in chronological order. Yep. Crazy violent people will always find a way. Yeah. Didn't figure you meant Lincoln. Not Abe, but Abe. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He was assassinated. Yes. Hola, Yoko. Hola. Thanks for coming, but I am gonna leave in a minute. I was watching a video of the Japan reporter talking about the birth crisis, and I think I saw a fragment of a video of yours where you talk about the topic, but I didn't find on your channel. Oh yeah, John actually told me yesterday or so about that. I realized like I couldn't tell the channel name, but when I look it up, it was Nobita, so it made sense. I understood. It's cool that he knows what I am saying. Yeah, it'll be fun to talk to him again. I had a collaboration live stream with him years ago with the Black Pigeon Speaks and this other guy that was there to support us. So cool. So there's no mention of how incoherent he comes across. Of course, like we are Japanese. We are not going to get into like which side that we support and so on. We just have to know what's going on and that's it. Like you don't have to, like our media I think does a good job, you know? Like I used to think that our media is bad, but actually like after learning about how things are in the US, I realized that we are actually fortunate. American media is so opinionated. It is very interesting. Even though when it comes to reporting and journalism, they do an amazing job. You know, there's a story that they wanna deliver or they wanna tell, and then they just dig and dig and dig and interview everybody and put together everything. And even though sometimes or often it lacks important parts, but they still connect the dots and create a good story, right? So they're such a writer. But yeah, Americans are just loud, you know. You're very opinionated and you speak so much and you express a lot and you will attach your emotions so much. And yeah, but Japanese people, we are culturally different, you know. That we like it's so interesting that whatever we do, we are so what we call like manual based. It's we stick to rules or laws and like all the manuals that we have, and that actually creates bad human resources. Because for example, when as a customer, sometimes I have questions or claims, right? Like we want to say something or ask something, and they can't, the people that in charge of us to answer, they can't answer our questions because they know only how to follow the scripts, the manuals that they have. So sometimes it becomes a problem like that, like, can you have a conversation? No, they can't. So that's sometimes happen. But yeah, like Japanese people, like media people too, that they try to be as balanced as they can, and sometimes they just don't know. For example, we had a security bill that we wanted to pass, which successfully passed later, but in 2015 we were reforming our system to be able to cooperate with the US and other countries, like our alliance and friendly nations together. Like we wanted to cooperate more with other countries, so we had to change the system here. And the left side didn't want that. They don't want to make our country stronger, right? So they opposed to the bill. Me, on the right side, I wanted it to pass so that it can bring peace to our country, right? Like cooperating with other countries to protect my country. Yes, like I want that, right? And but the left side was like agitating the fear, like, oh, if this happens, then Japan has to go to war with other countries and blah 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 blah, right? And so they were just agitating fears. And I had media people I invited them, like I had a press release, for media people so that they could come to my protest. Or it's not a protest, like I had an event in public spaces, with a microphone, speaking what I believe in, like, oh, this bill is important because this is happening here and there, and we need this bill so that we can protect our country. So I was on a microphone speaking in public, and the media people were there, and I told them my talking points, right? And they were like, wait, you want this bill because you are against the war? And they didn't get it. They're so like they are elites, right? To be able to work in the media industry, they're elites. They are smart, graduated from good university and so on. They are educated meaning brainwashed, right? So when they are told the talking points that they haven't installed, they're like, they can't follow. So like I have a lot of experiences like that. Like, you may believe like this, but no, I believe in this because this happens and this happens, and in order to do that, I need this. And I explain. Same for Trump. When Trump won, like I was cheering for Trump in 2016. I had political activities and invited the media people to cover my activities. And they would be like, huh? Like they wouldn't get me because it was a good, like, new way to think for them. Like they are surrounded by other leftists, so they don't know. So like I'm teaching them, man. Yeah. Anyway, it's been an hour. I should go. Not all Americans are allowed, but we are encouraged to speak our minds, right? Yeah. Like what I love about Americans is actually the fact that you are very verbal. You say everything. Because of that, you have problems. But because of that, it's like Americans' mentality is very transparent. It's very easy to understand, like, you say everything. Oh, I disagree with you, but here's my thought, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you explain yourself, right? And it's easy to communicate. But Japanese people, you know what happens in Japan? We, we are all telepathic. We're like, just watching each other. What is he gonna do? Stare. Oh, he's doing that. We just watch each other. So what happens often on Japanese trains nowadays is that, we watch each other on trains and take pictures of each other and post them on X and, discuss together nationwide. Like, so weird. I'm like, don't you have a mouth? Why can't you just speak? So annoying sometimes. Like, yeah, like what you see on Japanese X timelines is that people talking about your spouse or people on train or public spaces whatsoever. They complain, but judging from what they write, they're not speaking to each other. And even if they do, they suck, I don't know. I'm like, why can't you, like, I love my culture, but at the same time, like, can't you just, learn from Americans a little bit? I love your culture, Americans. I really love it. Like, whenever I'm stressed out in Japanese community, I watch American YouTube videos or Netflix shows or whatever, and then I feel like, like it's like fresh air, I feel so much better. because everyone just speaks their mind. Ah, and like it's like you guys are honest, you know. Like of course you guys lie too. You're humans, but like I don't know, like it's easier if it's everything is just there. But in Japan, we just have guessing games all the time. So like, oh, he had this expression. Oh, he might be thinking like this. Oh, he's not commenting like this. So does that mean the blah 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 blah? Constantly thinking. Anyway. Americans express ourselves forcefully. I like that. I like the expression forcefully. Japanese neighborhood seems so quiet. The neighbors seem to respect each other. At least that's the impression I get. Yeah, there are lots of unspoken rules here. So, yeah, grass is always greener. Yeah, that's so true. My nose is itchy. It's probably that being dry. Games are exhausting, rather be honest. Yeah. So I really learn a lot from Americans. The fact that I can stay cheerful in a way, is thanks to Americans. Because I don't know if you noticed, but American culture is very cheerful. You guys are optimistic and you know how to enjoy things. So, yeah. Japanese people, we are so dark. We are so dark. We're so serious and dark and negative and critical to each other too, like to ourselves and to each other. So like, no wonder many people commit suicide. Anyway, I could ramble for forever, but I should go. Oh, do you practice Shintoism? Yes. I have a Wi-Fi there with a spiritual world called Kamidana. It's like a mini shrine. It has like small trees, not trees, but like plants on both ends, and a mini shrine. And yeah, I have pictures on X, I think. But yeah, I believe in the world that we can't see. It could be talked about scientifically too, but I just wanna believe in the power that we can't see. Just because even the air is here, there are lots of elements here, right? But we can't see. But just because we can't see doesn't mean that it's not there. And I'm polishing my telepathic ability. It's getting better actually. It scares me. And I'm very spiritual and religious. So, okay. Do you sometimes feel like an alien in your own culture, being bilingual and exposed to overseas cultures? Yes, always, always. I'm different. I suffer a lot because of that. People are different here, and I don't feel accepted. I mean, I am accepted. People think I'm cool, right? Because I'm cool, but like it's not that it sucks, that it's just it feels lonely because people don't get me, right? But I'm almost 39 years old now. I'm turning 39 next month, so I'm used to it now. So and I have my husband here. And my even though my husband doesn't get my like where I stand and so on, but at least he's so smart and like it's so much fun to be with him. And so like I can forget about the loneliness, like even though like I'm not him, he's not me, and that's just how it is. And I guess that because I'm with him now, like I can just embrace things as they are. And yeah, so but I also have a hard time between being a female and also surrounded by men. I grew up among boys, and also like whatever I am interested in, heavy metal music or kendo, martial arts, or uh or politics or FPS games that I'm playing. Like I'm surrounded by boys or men. I'm surrounded by male all the time. Like the majority of you too are male. So like the way that I think and so on, and my self-image is very whatever appearance that I have for you. Like I have no idea how I'm seen, but like my mentality and self-image that I have for myself is very like not feminine at all. So like I have struggles there too. Like I don't, especially I probably get along with Americans. Like I bet that I would get along with American women, but over here in Japan, Japanese girls are so different. Japanese women, I should say. I'm old. Japanese women are so different, and that I feel kind of lonely or just different. But then again, even as a human, I feel like an alien too. That I feel like my soul is not fully in my body or some sort. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm that spiritual. Yeah. Anyway, I'm I'm just rambling. Sorry. Thank you so much. Okay. 39, yeah. 39. Can't believe that my 30s are ending soon. I mean, next year. I still have an year, so. But I'm, masculine and everything. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Sorry about this ending. I'm just rambling. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get together next month again. Okay. Thank you for sticking till the end. I know that it's late for the majority of you, so not for Europeans. But thank you. Okay. Let's talk together next week. Yes. Okay. Huh? Next week? Did I say next month? What? Next time? Yeah. See you next week, okay? Okay. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.